Hey everyone, Sandro here, back with another review. This time for something that completely changed my listening habits, and this is the PLiXiR Elite BAC 400 power conditioner review. Last week when I reviewed the kitchen's BP600 isolation power conditioner, I think I got just a small glimpse of what clean power could bring to the table. The difference with it and without it was quite big in a few of my audio components, but just marginally better with upper class audio equipment like this one right here. Just because these two are already having a very good transformers inside. However, I felt I just scratched the surface with such devices, as a friend of mine introduced me to PLiXiR Power, a Singaporean company that is using literally the best transformers money could buy. That in theory should further improve my listening experience, but let's see if that really will happen. My curiosity levels skyrocketed as I already inquiring for a review unit for myself, and this is it. Please meet the PLiXiR Elite BAC 400. The general idea is that if you are living in a flat where lots of people are using multiple electric consuming devices, the AC line will be polluted and the voltage could fluctuate up and down to unreasonable levels, and that could directly impact the listening experience and very sensitive audio equipment. That is the sole reason why at night time the music will sound just a little bit more engaging, it will flow easier, the background noise will be lower and quieter, and all the harshness will go just away. If you are feeling the same, I think it's time to further investigate the problem, and quite possibly the noisy AC line will be that problem that will need to be addressed. I'm listening to the Elite BAC 400 for quite some time now, and I think it further improved my listening experience compared to my former Ketch's BP600, not only with entry-level and mid-level audio equipment, but with higher class audio gear as well, like these ones right here. Okay guys, let's check the technology inside the PLiXiR Elite BAC 400. It looks really small. It's basically the smallest device that I've tested, yet it's also the heaviest one. It weighs 10 kilos and is really heavy, I think. Quite unusual, since this small box having so much weight. That's a little bit unusual. That is because PLiXiR uses a custom-made and top-of-the-line Noratel XD transformer inside. XD comes from extra quiet. So this is not your typical power supply, but something much more advanced. Let's have a peek inside and understand what makes it really interesting. Okay guys, I just opened it up. As you can see, it uses a huge toroidal transformers, highest grade power transformer from Noratel. The most appreciated manufacturer when it comes to power is actually the Noratel. So it was custom made according to PLiXiR power requirements and carries a proprietary noise attenuation technology. This is a single winding transformer. That is very important because it is dedicated to 120 volts or to 30 volts input and output. So each transformer has only one single winding for the intended application, for the best possible results and sound quality. It is of course highly efficient, as the toroidal transformer inside has more than 90% efficiency, and at idle it will be consumed just 1.6% of max power. As all toroidal transformers, it has very low magnetic field, so you could stack it with other PLiXiR power supplies, or you can put any audio component near it without fearing of a leak. Ham leak, and hiss inside your hi-fi chain. Same can be said about the mechanical noise, since the transformers inside is really noiseless and noise-free, and you cannot hear it working and doing its job. Electrical connections inside were made using point-to-point direct soldering, basically minimizing the use of sound degrading connectors and joints. It also has an optimized sound grounding with balanced AC power transformer inside, basically eliminating all ground currents, ground loops, areas and noise from the power supply. It also reduces hum, hiss from the system and increases resolution naturally somehow. It uses a very thick 5 mm aluminum extruded case. On top and the bottom there are two thick metal plates that will provide also an ultra rigid casing that will guard against noise degrading effects and of course of the mechanical vibrations. Each individual power conditioner is hand built by master craftsmen, so is that important to you? Besides all the tech inside, you should also understand the PLiXiR power concept. In simple words, James, the man behind the company, aspired to pure tone, or more exactly that means to accurate and natural reproduction of pure tones. BAC 400 that I'm testing today has 4 AC outlets, as you can see, one AC inlet of course, so I can compare much easier multiple audio sources without rearranging the test setup or the cables too often. It will also work with higher powered amplification. My active KEF LS15 wireless worked really well with it, but I tried not going too much volume wise, I think maximum 60%, so I will not stress it too much. Because LS15 wireless has dual mono 230 watts amps inside, so a DAC and a streamer, so mostly because of that. In a desktop environment, BAC 400 is just excellent, as any streamer, any DAC, any headphone amp and powered monitors will draw less than 400 watts of power. So I think it will work really great in a desktop environment. I think BAC 400 looks pretty simple and very sleek. It has just one on-off button right here on the right, an AC inlet on the back and 4 AC outlets. It is very important to know, but all outlets are labeled from 1 to 4. That because the outlet number 1 will have the best isolation and the best sound quality, followed by the second, the third and the fourth outlet. It is basically advisable using very sensitive audio gear like streamers, like DACs, turntables, digital servers on the first, on the second output, and high voltage drain equipment on the third and the fourth outlet. So keep that in mind, please. Okay everyone, I think it's time you have a longer listen with it inside my audio chain. And the biggest surprise that I had was powering both of these matrices, the Element X and the X-Sabre Pro, as I really didn't expect such a difference with and without it in my chain. If you are asking why yourself, well, that's because both of these units are also using a Noratel made toroidal transformers inside, so it's not extra quiet one, but still a Noratel, so I really didn't expect much of a change, but oh boy, how wrong I was. Being powered by the Elite BAC 400, something immediately was changed, as the overall performance was much faster and the bass notes hit me like hammers. These two traits I think I never experienced with my former KCS BP600, and that is a bit strange. I listened later to some electronica music and I realized how fast the transient response could be, and those fast executed bass notes kicked me and slammed me like I was nothing. The point is, I never heard both matrices sounding as good and as fast as with so much energy. Such an impressive transient response was hiding somewhere inside these two. The same thing happened when I listened to mid-range equipment, and but to a much higher degree I think. For example, when I listened to Mytek Brooklyn DAC Plus, it transformed basically into a transient beast. It was already among the fastest audio sources I've ever tried, but now it became just a transient and bass monster. I was never particularly impressed by the bass performance of the Mytek, yet with Elite 400 in the chain it was always there, but it was just awakened from its deep sleep. I can go back to music listening without the BAC 400 in my audio chain. Listening to some classic rock by Led Zeppelin, it is like Led Zepp suddenly moved from playing classic rock to hardcore, as I hear so much more energy, more vibration. Guitar plugs are becoming much more real, with clear leading edges. It infused so much joy, so much energy into this song that I don't even recognize it anymore. Listening just to Matrix Element X via its internal player via USB host on the 4-pin balanced headphone out was just a revelatory experience. If you remember, in my Element X video, I mentioned that the internal headphone amplification section is a tad leaner sounding, so not very dynamic and not very hard hitting. But powering it with Elite BAC 400 from PLiXiR, I guess I should reshoot my video for the Element X, because those claims are not valid anymore. Hard hitting bass notes are back, dynamics kicked in and shown me tremendous impact, and so much air mass being carried with every note. It is just a different sounding device, and I don't even recognize it anymore. I then moved my listening sessions to something slower. I listened to some jazz from Pink Martini, and I think I got carried away since the sounds of those bells of tambourine were so clean and so outlined. Piano and violin had this incredible liveliness and a little bit more weight to the notes. A heavier tone as well, so like you hear in the real life. The guitar plugs were so real and so natural. I felt like I was in front of the stage and everything happened just for me. On this particular song, I think I felt this effortless and incredible widespread soundstage. It's quite interesting since all my sources shown a higher dynamic range. The difference between a lower volume and a higher intensity tone was much higher. I think the name of the game is background noise, because it lowered so much and I was hearing the musical performance in its purest form possible. When it lowered, every note had a clearer image, its texture became real and very lifelike. And those tiny and hidden micro details became just normal sounds that you are hearing normally without stressing too much. If there is a veil in the recording, it will be lifted and transparency will drastically increase with PLiXiR new system. The same basically happened when I moved my listening sessions to the living room, powering my active speakers. I immediately noticed a huge increase in dynamics, in pace, rhythm and timing. With PLiXiR music, I think has this effortless but incredible snappy, quite fast and very alive, very joyful sounding as well. Dare I say, I think my speakers had the best dynamics I encountered in my living room. Every song had just a little bit more of everything, so more bass, more mid-range, more treble without sacrificing anything they do just right. Okay everybody, going on into the conclusion, if I sounded overly excited and overly joyful, that is because I never heard a better tweak in my audio system. If I add all the improvements of all my cables, digital, analog, interconnect and power cables, those improvements are nowhere near the performance the PLiXiR Elite BAC 400 brought to the table along in my audio chain. I can listen to my music with crappy cables all day long, but I don't think I want to listen to my music without a PLiXiR power conditioner in my audio chain. All of this of course comes at a price, so the smallest one, the Elite BAC 150, will cost you 600 euros here in Europe. And this one right here, the Elite BAC 400, will cost you 1,100 euros. If it is worth it or not, I will leave that to you to decide. For me it was, and I will be probably purchasing one very soon. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed my review. My full in-depth review can be read on my website. There is a link in the description below. Listen to my music, be positive, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye bye.